When God made woman, he drew her out of man so the man would have someone to love who was of the same nature. It was love that brought about the woman's existence. Let each one of you in particular so love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. Ephesians 5:33. A lot of men get stuck on, and I'm guilty of this, is all get out. But a lot of men get stuck on, she doesn't respect me. Are you living and being a man that's worthy of respect? And why anyone would ever choose to date someone they don't respect or look up to blows my mind. That one freaks me out. But you know what? I did it. But like looking back at it, it makes zero sense. But you're demanding respect from people around you, your loved ones and your family, but are you being a man that is worthy of respect? Women that want to be respected and don't deserve respect yet. I mean, you're respectful, but I'm talking about respect, authority. You got to walk in that to be it. Having your hair did, fancy nails, big boobs, and a hot outfit does not mean that you're worthy of respect. Men, just because you rock a suit and you look all pretty in your black tie, it doesn't mean you're worthy of respect. No husband should ever be intimidated or insecure when his wife makes more money than he does. When security marries insecurity, problems occur because that man identifies his position with possessions rather than the potential God placed in him. One of the things that I believe that allowed me to get away with a lot of the atrocities that I committed in my past was that people saw in me what I didn't even see until recently. Women, I think, I don't know, because I was like this with women too. Let's just go in general here. How many people have you dated that you stayed in the relationship because you saw their potential? We can get blinded by potential. Like we've seen potential in someone like, yeah, I know they're a little screwed up right now. I know that they're a compulsive liar. The money thing is interesting too, because we live in that world now where, it's a little bit different. There's women that are just killing it. I don't think men should worry about that because frankly, you can still lead your home and your wife make more money than you. Just saying. A man whose wife makes more money than he does, but who is doing his utmost to work a job and help fulfill his wife's spiritual, financial, emotional, intellectual needs is being a good provider. Let me say that over. So remember what I just said about the money thing, like it doesn't, who makes more money, it could matter to one of the people in the relationships, but I'm saying it shouldn't, especially when the woman makes more money than a man, because a man whose wife makes more money than he does, but who is doing his utmost to work a job and help fulfill his wife's spiritual, financial, emotional, and intellectual needs is being a good provider. You can still lead your home is the point. Husbands are always to be accountable and responsible. Real men don't play the blame game, always pointing a finger at everyone but themselves. Who's guilty of that? If you bring your gift to the altar and there remember that your brother or spouse has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go your way. First, be reconciled to your mother or your brother or spouse, and then come and offer your gift. So wait a second. So you got to be reconciled with your spouse, then come offer your gift. Okay. So this is where a lot of men have been getting it wrong, including me. Is like we make our spouse mad, and we're like, no apologies for that wisdom because I didn't know that. Because how many of you dated somebody or been married to somebody that throws gifts at problems? I dated somebody that their love language was gifts. First of all, here's another dating tip for you. Only date people that your love language matches theirs. I can't, because trying to learn someone else's love language is about like trying to learn Mandarin. Mandarin Chinese. Have you ever tried? Good luck with that. Or trying to read Farsi for the first time. We can't fix anyone but ourselves. I'm freezing on you. Wait, you can get blinded by potential? Yeah. Love is stronger than pride. People with unresolved issues date people that are not a good fit for them. Well, yeah, because if we have unresolved issues, that means we have something, we have a void in our life, in our heart, we have an area, a wound. And so if you seek out, I'm only giving you the cheat code, okay? If you guys want to take the time to learn someone else's love language, go for it. But let me tell my story about gifts. So I dated somebody who their love language was gifts. And every time we got in a fight, in which if you hang out with me long enough, we're going to fight because half the time people can't understand what I'm saying or there's whatever. Like it just seems to follow me everywhere. Misunderstandings. So, but every time we would fight, even it was her fault. Like there was a demand. You buy me gifts. What are you going to buy me to make this right? Like I heard those things. First and foremost, you ever say those words to me, you ain't buying you anything. Like I like to buy gifts, like to surprise people, or because I feel led to, or because I feel all warm and fuzzy because of something you've done, or just because I'm thinking of you. Like that's when I want to buy a gift. Not when you're going to make this right. You're going to buy me gifts. That ain't going to fly. I don't understand that. So you don't have to take my advice, Selena, to stretch yourself. But you know what? Relationships are stretchy enough as it is. Just living your own good life that's tough enough. Why in the heck do I want to try to stretch myself more and try to learn your love language? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. Again, it's speaking a foreign language. It's speaking Beirutian or Afghanistanian. Just kidding. So no, you can stretch yourself all you want. I want no part of it. I'm very fortunate to be able to share the same love language right now, and it's wonderful because you know what? It makes communication easier, but you know what? It's still not easy. There's still mistakes. So you can take your stretchy and I want no part of it. None. All right, wait a second. Wait, where'd this go? Some people fight to prove or see the passion to make sure the care is still there. Wow, that is deep, Jessica. Be intentional. I love that, Chrissy. That are live, but on the replay, maybe we have some men. So let's talk this. I heard this 3 days ago, listening to there's an audio version of this, and it really, you know what? I have a really hard time keeping things secret. So this person right here, I reference quite a bit. You just don't know it. Not only is she my manager, but she's a special person in my life. So I heard this, and I'm only doing this. I'm pulling back the wall, and I don't really do this very, very often because I have enjoyed keeping some things private for the first time in my life. But I want to talk about this because it matters. So men, as far as God is concerned, you're ready for marriage when you are able to teach your family his word. If you do, for children, all of this stuff, my heart is open for that, like legitimately. And you've been watching the show long enough, I've been talking about it for a long time. Like a long time, because that's what happens when God gets in your heart, when Jesus takes over and transforms your life, and you start to take to heart that the greatest commandment is to love. And you open your heart up for that, not only to give it, but to receive it. And sometimes receiving love is a lot harder than giving it. I don't know why that is. It just is. Maybe it's a not worthy thing. I don't know. But the fact is, it's harder to receive love for me than it is to give it. But now that it's kind of like flowing in and out, like my heart, I was like, I love things and I love people that I didn't know I could love. I find myself caring about things and people that I never in my wildest dreams would have cared about before. So it's only natural, right, for this to happen. So I hear what I just read you. And I thought, oh, it's my job to teach the girls about Jesus. It's my job. Literally 5 hours later, when I first get that thought, maybe it was more than 5 hours later. It didn't matter. I get a message from Jessica talking about it's my responsibility to lead. But how awesome is it when you have a home or a kingdom home or will have a kingdom home when the man is serving the Lord, the woman serving the Lord, and the children follow suit, because the children will follow the example that's being set by the children or by the parents. And I admired that so much. And I was so inspired by that. And it didn't mean now just in men, if you see your women or your woman, your wife, your girlfriend teaching the kids about Jesus, that doesn't mean that you don't get to. That didn't mean like, well, she's got it taken care of, I'm not going to do it. Oh, no. No. It means you get to step up your game because it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility. You don't get to pass that off. It's not washing the dishes or putting the dishes up, because I like to wash the dishes. I just don't like to put them up. It's kind of like I like to wash the clothes, but I don't like to fold them. Thank you, Shrin. So anyway, it meant a lot to me, and I respect it. But it doesn't mean that I lose it's still my responsibility, but it's awesome that she's doing it. And mind you, we're in different states, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm inspired by that. But that's what a kingdom home does. Okay, tangent over. So we're going back to the top secret thing I was doing before. Many Christians love to hide behind God so they don't have to deal with the responsibility of. I don't know what that means, but here's what I think it means. So after I gave my life to Christ, it was still in a relationship. And here's the thing I want to encourage you. You give your heart to Jesus, you're still going to have things to figure out. It doesn't mean that you fix your head. Like, your brain is still a little bit crazy. Okay. Holy Spirit takes over, but you got a brain to deal with. You got bad habits to work through. Like, it's a process. It's not perfect. That's why if you hear a Christian drop an F-bomb, don't judge him. Like, maybe you shouldn't use that language, but you know what? Maybe he just gave his life to the Lord a couple weeks ago. You still got a potty mouth. You got to give people some grace. Okay. We don't know where people are at. Anyway. So, but, what was I going to say about the way, responsibility face to face? Oh, so I was in that. Eventually you get to take what you learned and apply it into the world. Apply the word of God to your life. It'll change everything. You can't teach what you don't know. So when you're applying the word of God, the kingdom principles to your life, it's, again, when you're just yourself and I'm hiding behind God or I'm hiding behind a screen, I have no responsibility for the public. I have no responsibility for you. I don't have a one-on-one relationship with you that's in the physical because it's digital. But how do you know how far you've really gone? Well, the beauty of relationships are that they are a mirror. It is a reflection of how you show up in the world. And no better way to do that than in a romantic relationship, because it's going to expose so much about yourself. But work relationships do it too. So don't hide behind God. But it was, again, like back to the point, I thought I was healed. I thought I was ready to go. After a year, started dating. Bad freaking idea. Like I wasn't the triggers, like some of these things that I wasn't aware that were going to be laying in wait, but I didn't wait on God. I assumed God had somebody for me, but it wasn't right. So you know what? I got to learn all over. More time alone. Oops, knocked over my water. More time alone. But this time around, I felt like I was ready because of how things happened, because of when I prayed and the way, now that people know, Jessica and I came together. It was very special and unique. A lot of things that become a tad challenging sometimes because of old past behaviors that I have not learned how to properly handle yet. But when you find somebody that you share a vision with, you have kind of the same heart, the same goals, the same purpose, so to speak, and that aligns, and my job is to make her feel comfortable. Like I'm not going anywhere. In other words, there's no bailing. There's no pushing away saying, you know what, screw you. You're going to hurt me. So I'm going to push you away first. And like, it's stopping that behavior. Like no more of that. Like, this is not how I'm going to be. Get to work through things. And when you find somebody that you respect and they respect you, you share common goals, you both have faith in the Lord, you're able to go, you know what? I'm going to work through this with you. We're going to forgive. And we're going to learn this lesson together so we can put it to bed and we can move on. Because there's nothing worse in a relationship. And I refuse to do it this time around because I know that God has brought me a very special situation. But that said, I get to learn these lessons, and it is up to me to not carry the crap forward into every new argument and new fight. Because guess what? There's always going to be new arguments. There's always going to be new fights. We get to learn. It's better to be honest and open and get it all out on the open now so we don't have to deal with it later. And if your relationship can't handle that, you're in the wrong relationship. Because we're going to do this tomorrow. This is a lot more fun than I thought, so we're just going to keep doing it. We both have pasts that affect how we respond to certain things. It's true. I asked my husband if he could handle that job to teach my kids. He lied and said yes. Yeah, you can't lie. Trish, I'm glad you brought this up. Don't lie about anything. Just be honest. God, especially when you're dating. Because dating is like, even though it's totally different than marriage, which is still a trip, like, why does it change? But the fact is, like, if you have, like, it's like the practice run, the dating, even though marriage is different. Like, if you start the habits of lying now and withholding information and not being honest, if you start those habits, moody butthead like me. Women, sometimes you're a little moody because you got a hormonal change. It's a fact of life. And you know what? Something, I don't know, I can't explain it, but when you guys get hormonal, it does some wacky stuff to your brain. I don't understand it. But you know what? I got PMS too. So, whatever. And it does some wacky stuff to my brain. And I'm not saying this to be insulting or be disrespectful, but the fact is, we all go through cycles. We go with cycles of life, cycles of emotion. We all experience life differently. What was the point of that? I forgot. Also, thank you guys for being here. Please follow, subscribe, share, invite a friend. And of course, you guys network. and very, very grateful for you all being here. Thank you for being a part of this broadcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you guys enjoy this? Did this make sense? Was it insightful at all? Did I frustrate you? Did I offend you? Because it's very possible that I. Well, hi, Kay. Thank you. Look, we touched on some very sensitive stuff today. Thank you, Sharon, for being here. This relationship stuff's complicated. I think, how many pages keep going? I could finish. No, I want to split this. We'll do it. How much time's left? Sorry, I'm not ending the show well. I'm going to end the show now. I could just keep going. Sorry, I'm not ending the show well. I'm going to end the show now.